biggest, probably most fundamental lessons that I learned in 2023 was that I need to ensure that I'm making decisions out of a place of desire and not allowance. So I realized that there are some patterns that I follow through on that don't quite make sense, right? So I was looking at myself and I was just noticing these cycles repeating, and I'm like, but the decision that I make in those moments doesn't quite match my mind and my heart, right? But I still make the decision. So I took a deep dive and I was like, why? Why? What is it about this context that leads me to make this particular decision, even though it's not quite aligned with my truest conscious desire, right? So what I realized is there are certain circumstances that cause me to go numb, and that is a trauma response. So when I really pinpointed what was happening, a particular context would cause my body to go numb, because in my younger years I was actually numbed, like chemically numbed, into a state where anything was fine, where anything was allowed, and nothing really mattered. So anything happened. And so what I realized was, even though there's no chemical numbing happening, my body had such a strong association to that context, that environment, that it would numb itself to a state of, it's fine, nothing really matters, anything is allowed. And what I realized is, when I realized that that was the mechanism that was at work, which was leading to these decisions which didn't quite make sense, I was really grateful for that understanding. Because that mechanism is one, now that I'm aware of it, that mechanism is one that I can alter. And what I took from it was, when I'm in a moment of making decisions, I need to pause and really see, am I allowing or am I desiring? Because desire is that deep invigoration of energy, of heat, of, and I'm not just talking physically, I'm talking for anything you desire, you want it with passion, you want it passionately. Allowance is just like, sure, okay. So knowing that allowance leads me to make decisions that aren't necessarily in alignment. I mean, they could be in alignment, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that everything that comes forward in the energy of allowance is a bad thing. It's just taking a moment to actually reflect on, is that mechanism that I've pinpointed, is that at work? Is my body numbing because of trauma? Or am I in desire? If my body is numbing, I shouldn't make a decision in that direction. You know what I mean? Or at least I need to pause and dig deeper. But yeah, discovering that mechanism was probably the most important, because before I understood that, I thought it was all desire. I thought if I would allow it, then there's some desire there, right? obvious to some people. But as an autistic being with some interoception dysfunction, understanding what's happening in your body is hard. And being able to really hone in on that physical experience and actually use the information, that insight, to guide better decisions. Like, this is something, if I had learned this when I was a teenager, oh my God, my life would have gone so differently. But it's fine. I'm glad from where I'm at. Every experience was worthwhile. I don't regret anything. I'm just saying, I think it would be really impactful for young people to learn these things. It's beyond what we learn in school. It's beyond what most people are taught at home. I definitely wasn't taught at home how to tune into my body to the extent that I have discovered now. But yeah, being able to pinpoint the mechanism behind a